History and science are a very fickle thing, because even though they seem very rooted in fact, everything is essentially subjective at the end of the day. All throughout human history, the concept of lying and being dishonest has always been a driving factor. We see it in our society, we see it in our culture, Hollywood culture, politics, and it's funny that a lot of the most powerful people in the world manipulate the public through lying. Especially in the Western world, in the United States specifically, people don't generally trust the politicians. It's very interesting to see that dishonesty is such a very deeply rooted thing in our society. Going off of that, even the education system that we have today seems to be very disinformed, and they seem to be going in a very negative downward slope. The fact that a lot of the education systems have to appeal to the lowest common denominator of students kind of shows that the education system has even turned into something where it's just to fit people where they belong rather than to make them believe that they can go and achieve the wildest of dreams. Ever since I was a child, I always kind of wondered why society plagues us like this. Why is it that we grow up and people are taught to stay in line rather than to use their imagination and compassion to move forward in a positive way for all of us and society? I mean, don't get me wrong. There are definitely a lot of things like media and entertainment that do strive and push us towards that, but in the real world, whether you're on Wall Street working business or whether you're just an elementary school teacher, there doesn't seem to be a lot of motivation and positive energy. I could blame a lot of things, and I can make a lot of excuses, but overall I would say that the main issue is that there are people who have power and they want to keep that power, and that makes sense to me. I actually can't blame them for that, because if I were raised in that kind of environment that they're raised in, maybe I would feel the same way. This video specifically is not about me though. This video is about you. It's about your mother, it's about your father, it's about your ancestors, it's about your children. It's about every single person on the face of this planet. Here at Psycosmos, we have a lot of fun, and we make a lot of jokes. But one thing that we don't do is try to propagate and continue lies that have been force-fed to the public. What I'm referring to are deeply rooted hidden secrets that people on the upper echelon of society don't want other people to know. We here at Team Psycosmos are going to start discussing these topics to the open public. One of the things that we need to discuss on this channel, and we will in full detail later on, is a biological process that runs throughout your body once a month. Modernly, this is known as the sacred secretion. It is found in the Bible, it's found in Egypt, Greco-Roman cultures, and Judeo-Christian cultures being the main ones that have perpetuated it over the last couple thousand years. The concept of the sacred secretion, and again, we'll get into the more details of that, you can feel free to research it yourself, is basically this. I'm not here to argue the existence of God or not. However, there is a lot of scientific, even modern scientific evidence that energy exists as a concept. There's even a lot of scientific evidence to show that your brain gives off an electromagnetic force field, which could be perceived as why people in history like Jesus are shown with a halo around their head, or even a lot of Indian gods from Hindu religions as well. The whole point I'm trying to get at here is that there needs to be more scientific research done on a physical element that correlates with the body, that connects us to higher realms. If you've ever been in like a 9th grade science class, one of the things that they'll teach you is that the Earth has magnetic poles. There's a North Pole and a South Pole, and it's magnetic, right? The concept of that magnetism could correlate to the human body as well. There's a lot of evidence that is being accepted by the scientific community of something called torus fields. Once again, because our body is filled with neurons and nerves that communicate through electricity, and not only that, but DNA also subsequently communicates through electricity, it is not so far as a stretch to assume that we have some minor energetic field that can correlate with other people. And if you've ever been the type of person who sat in a room and you've had somebody that you like or dislike come into a room, you can feel that. And it's not just a thought, it's an emotion that could be perceived as energy. Because at the end of the day, emotions are just energetic vibrations that we feel within our body that our brain communicates to ourselves as feeling happy or sad. There's also a lot of chemical aspects to that as well. And I'm not denying that at all. However, the point I'm trying to get at is we need to look a little more closely at the concept of energy and how it correlates with our bodies. A lot of the ancient philosophers, religious leaders, and some of the most intelligent people in history understood and theorized that there had to have been some physical link to the external realms, heaven, or whatever your kind of concept of the afterlife may be. There seems to be a physical link, a biological link. We're going to be talking more about our perception on that, but this was something that needed to be made well aware of, and as we grow as a channel and as more information about these physical links come out, we're hoping that you'll stay tuned with us, you'll stay subscribed, you'll share a lot of this information with your family and friends. A lot of this information pertains to the chakras, hermeticism, the pineal gland within the mind. We have a lot of information, extensive information, not only about the philosophy of it, but things like the physical aspects, like DNA and how it's created, how it's rooted. There are so many different things that we want to talk about on this channel, but overall, what this channel is about is making sure that you, the individual, can become the best person that you can be, so that one day everybody will be focused on that, and there won't be things like drug problems, alcoholism, domestic abuse. We want people to be happy on this channel. We want people to be independent. We want people to be focused and driven, and that's basically what Psycosmos is. It's not just a philosophy, it's not just a motivation, it's not just a way of life, it's also a people. And every single one of you subscribers, you're a part of Psycosmos too. You're not perfect, but if you try hard enough, you could become everything that you want to and more. Always remember to never give up. Thank you for watching.